The Alberta Prosperity Project will have to wait a little longer before it can start gathering signatures from supporters. A judge has ruled a judicial review of the separatists' referendum question can go ahead. CTV's Jeremy Thompson has been following the court proceedings today and joins us live in studio with the latest. Jeremy?
So let me start with who benefits from today's ruling. The decision is a win for Albertans who want to stay in Canada. It means the group pushing for separation has to have its referendum question reviewed by a judge before it can start collecting signatures to get it on a ballot. The separatist group Alberta Prosperity Project wants to ask Albertans whether they want to leave Canada and become a sovereign nation.
Yesterday, a judge ruled a referendum question on Alberta separation must have its constitutionality scrutinized. The ruling means the separatist group, Alberta Prosperity Project, cannot collect signatures to get its question on a ballot until after the review. In a statement, the Confederacy says, quote, "We will continue our unchanging opposition to separatist rhetoric and the idea that Alberta should consider separating from Canada," adding the push for separation is a direct violation of treaty, which are legally binding contracts.
Except that the treaties, exactly as they exist today, are a big part of the problem. One doesn't have to go far to realize that Indigenous people in Canada have not been treated fairly by the federal government, and how corruption in the reservations is a major concern, especially for those at the bottom. Those at the top, who obviously benefit from the current arrangement, are the only ones who do not want to see change. So the Canadian courts have decided that it is their job to block the will of the people. The independence referendum is now being delayed by judges and bureaucracy. And the reasons given for the delay leave more questions than answers. But I can't say I'm surprised. Expect them to do even worse over the coming months. If you support these videos, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it.
Alberta separatism is no longer a fringe idea. I heard it at the doors more times than I can count. And I'll tell you plainly, Alberta staying in Confederation is not up to me, and it's not up to the Liberal government. It's up to the people of Alberta. And the Albertans know that they have options.
You know, things are getting real when Alberta independence is being talked about in Parliament more than Quebec separatism. And that's saying something. For decades, Quebec's been the poster child for separation talk. But now, Alberta's taking the spotlight. And the federal politicians, they're panicking. They hope this was just some temporary and fleeting protest. But nope, it's gaining steam, and fast. You've got organized groups and serious people behind it. And support is growing all across Alberta. It's definitely not a fringe idea anymore. Now, let's address one of the biggest lies out there, that Ottawa or some special interest group can just veto Alberta's decision if the people vote yes in a referendum. That's not how this works. This isn't a permission slip from Ottawa. We're talking about the will of the people. And if 50% plus one say yes, that's the beginning of the road to independence. After that, Alberta holds all the cards. Stay independent or strike a deal with the United States. Whatever path the people of Alberta choose. But it all starts with breaking away from Canada, first and foremost.
Second, I'd like to turn to talk of making Canada an energy superpower.
Yep.
Danielle Smith has said, there could be a referendum next year, and the legislation around that is 170,000 people can put that on the ballot. Brian Mulroney once perhaps referred to rolling the dice with the future of Canada. Is it appropriate for that few people to put the fate of a G7 nation in the balance?
I see what you're trying to do. Look, the province of Alberta, provinces make determinations on the rules governing referenda, voter plebiscites, other factors, and they can make determination on how they come into force. Determinations on broader issues of referenda on federal level, including supported by Supreme Court decisions, are governed by the Clarity. I will refer to the Clarity Act. But look, what we're interested in, what Canada's new government is interested in, what Parliament, I think most parliamentarians are interested in, is building this country, not breaking it apart. It's working together, working with Indigenous peoples, working with provinces, working with labor, working with business. We have we have many, we have this threat, this realizing from the U.S. that regardless of what outcome we get, it matters what agreement we get, but it's changing the world of trade. It is changing the outlook for the global economy in not just immediate, but the medium term. We have to take more responsibility ourselves to move forward, which is what we're doing with the One Canadian Economy Act and what's underneath it, which very much includes, and I'll finish on this, very much includes cooperation with the province of Alberta, the province of Saskatchewan, province of British Columbia, all the provinces and territories, Indigenous people, for these nation-building projects. And we're having constructive, I would say, very constructive discussions with Premier Smith and stakeholders in Alberta specifically, and we intend to convert those to actual projects, investment, jobs, and a brighter future for the country.
Mark Carney's strategy on Alberta independence has been real simple. Pretending it doesn't exist. Just ignore it and hope it goes away. But the poor guy can't escape it. Everywhere he goes now, the topic follows him like a shadow. And you can see it. His body language is arrogant and dismissive. But he's really irritated. He's annoyed that the issue won't die. Well, guess what, Mark? Alberta's not backing down anytime soon. People here are fed up, and no amount of eye rolling from a globalist banker is going to stop that. And then there's the media, bless their hearts. One reporter actually asked how such a small group of Albertans could threaten the status of a G7 country. Talk about telling on yourself. Here's the thing. Albertans aren't responsible for what happens to Canada after they leave. We've been asking, pretty much begging, for a fair deal for decades, and we didn't get one. So now we're out. And yes, if Alberta walks, it's game over for Canada. From G7 to maybe G20 at best. And deep down, the people mocking this movement know it. That's why they're scared. That's why they're desperate, and that's why they discredit it. Because if Alberta leaves, Canada falls apart. Here's a clip from the YouTube channel called Freedom Calendar. They stream many of the Alberta independence events across the province. So if you like to watch those, make sure to subscribe to their channel. This is from a recent town hall in Spruce Grove, just west of Edmonton, where David Parker from Take Back Alberta speaks about the momentum he's seen in the Alberta independence movement.
So what are we going to do? What's the answer? Well, I actually think, I said this to Vince earlier tonight, that there is more momentum behind this movement than there was behind the COVID freedom movement. There are more people on side with an independent Alberta than there were with the parental rights movement, where we were demanding that parents were the first authority in their children's lives. Remember the Million March for Children across the country? There's more support for this than that.
If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe and press the notifications bell so you never miss our daily updates. Subscribing is free, and you can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind. Thank you to all our channel members. I couldn't do this without your generosity. See you on the next one. Peace.